Good morning, Albemarle. You may have heard of personality types. Type A describes someone who is proactive, organized, and ambitious. Type B individuals are laid back and go with the flow. These personality traits make people unique and special. We're here to talk about a silent disease where the symptoms are often hidden by the personalities stricken with it.
My name is Corinne Garland, and this is Sydney Holdren. We are definite types, type 1 diabetics. The only way you would know this is if you have ever observed us checking our blood sugars, dosing insulin prior to a meal, or seen a medical device on our body.
Type 1 diabetes is not contagious, and we did not get it from unhealthy eating habits. We had a predisposition in this autoimmune disease which attacks our pancreas and essentially kills it. We have to take insulin to process food and survive. Constant monitoring of our blood glucose helps determine how much insulin we need.
November is the month where we bring attention to diabetes and its impact on millions of people. November 14th is World Diabetes Day. We invite you to show your support for those fighting this disease on Tuesday by wearing blue, the official recognized color of type 1 diabetes. By wearing blue, you are showing your compassion for people like my daughter Corinne, a future patriot, or Sydney, a current patriot. On Tuesday, November 14th, let's make AHS one unified color, blue. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Good morning, Patriots. I'm Tom. Today is Thursday, November 9th, and here are your morning announcements. Computer Science Club canceled today. We will reconvene Tuesday. AHS will be hosting its 4th annual College Week next week, November 13th and 17th through 17th. Guidance counselors will be hosting a variety of events during the week to help students begin the process of planning their education after high school. For more information, see your guidance counselor or check the scrolling announcements in the lobby. Attention sophomores, there will be a meeting for the sophomore class tomorrow in the auditorium during the second half of chat to discuss class rings. All students attending the field trip with Miss Mason on Saturday, November 11th to the VA Film Festival screening of 4 Little Girls need to meet by the flagpole no later than 12:45 p.m. to ride the bus. Please contact Miss Mason in the Media Center if you have additional questions. Thank you. Are you interested in problem solving, computers, and cybersecurity? Then you might want to check out Computer Science Club. They meet Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. in room 105. Current club members, there will be a meeting November 9th, 11th, and 17th to compete in the Logic Challenge. No experience necessary. Today during chat, there will be the powder puff practice on the football field for all players and coaches. Last week, Jaquan visited with Mr. Cantone and filed this week's new teacher report.
Good morning, Albemarle. Welcome to the new teacher report. I'm Jaquan, and we're here with Mr. Cantone. Well, so Mr. Cantone, what made you want to be a teacher?
So I've always liked working with students, and I had a lot of people telling me that I might be decent at being a teacher, and I had an opportunity to work with some students the summer before my 3rd year of college, and that kind of really piqued my interest, and I found that some of my favorite role models, or some of my big role models growing up, were teachers, and so I figured what better way to kind of honor their legacy in my life than to try to emulate what they did.
So why did you choose history to teach?
So I think history is just an amazing subject to look at, not only from the lens of movements and processes that have happened in our past, but then also stories that are being told throughout time. And I think it's really interesting to look at history through the lens of whose stories are being told, but more importantly, whose stories aren't being told, and how we can use those untold stories to shape a fuller idea of where we have come from and where we are going kind of as a community and as a nation and a world, which I think is really, really cool.
Let's talk about your educational path and what made you want to become a teacher.
That's a great question. So I started wanting to be a mathematician, and that was what I wanted to do in high school in my first semester of college, and I took a college math class and just got completely destroyed by it. So I moved entirely to the other end of the spectrum, and I wanted to be a minister, so a religious minister for about 2 years. And I interned at a church, and I realized that I wasn't a super big fan of working in a church per se, but I really, really loved working with the youth group there. So a lot of people were saying, well, maybe teaching is the path for you. So with about 2 weeks to go before I was allowed to apply to be in this teaching program at UVA, I sent in my application, and the rest is history. Because I teach history.
So what were you like as a high school student?
So I was definitely like the class clown of high school. I did well in school, but I was not the best at keeping up on my work. So definitely, to those of you listening, please don't be like me. As a high schooler, definitely stay with your studies and be respectful of everything around you. But I have matured since then, I think. So, yeah.
So did you have any hobbies or sports or things you did after school?
I did. So I ran 3 seasons out of the year, which is a huge reason why I help the cross-country team now. I also played in the band. I played trumpet, and I was really involved with Boy Scouts as well.
So what do you like to do now besides teaching?
I'm really big into annoying my roommates. I live with Mr. Lorenzoni and Mr. Lechin, and so I spend a lot of time just annoying them at home. But then when I'm not teaching, I like to run, and I like to sort of travel around downtown and hang out at some coffee shops around there, and go on hikes when I can, when I'm not too tired from teaching. But, yeah.
So what's on your Spotify playlist if you have one?
So I have Run the Jewels, Tom Petty, the Beach Boys, Ben Rector, Hamilton, and then just a bunch of other random songs. But let's try to listen to everything.
What's one band you would like to jam with?
Oh, I'd love to jam with Dave Matthews Band. Because I've been to some of their concerts and they can play the same song for like 15 minutes, which is just amazing. So I'd love to jam with them.
What shows do you binge watch?
Ooh, so I just finished the 2nd season of Stranger Things. I watched that in about a 24-hour span. But I will always come back to The Office. That is my go-to. I need 4 or 5 hours to kill. I will just watch a full season of The Office. That's kind of my go-to.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Cantone.
Thank you so much. This was awesome.
And join us next week on the New Teacher Report.
That's all for now. Have a great day.
This is a Ryan Little production.